So that one is very, very interesting because
Just kidding.
Ever had a friendship that kept it for the week?
I have, and learned that it was not worth it. Some friendships are just for a season, and like instead of like mourning that, just like accepting it and being okay. Because like the moment I recognized that, and I was just like, it's okay for us to drift apart, I just felt so much lighter. I felt like I wasn't performing, because I think it got to a point where I was literally performing, and I wasn't stating my own needs. I wasn't really being fully honest and transparent. And I've been wondering, like, why am I doing this? I think it got to a point where I was worried about the other person continuing to like care about me, and like they almost had the upper hand, which like, no, probably not right. And so like subconsciously was performing, because I felt like, oh, I need their love, I need to have their attention. But yeah, I think once I like kind of released myself, then I felt like, oh, it's sad, but it's also okay.
But I think I'm having a hard time thinking about in my adult season, because I think energy, right? Like when you read energy that feels wrong. I mean, I think I've been friends with people, and Dorothy probably attests to this, knowing this of me. People that my gut's been like, I don't know, like something feels off and I don't know what it is. But I ended up being fine. But I don't know if they really changed my core. I feel like sometimes there's been situations where I've seen people try to claim friendship, but it feels like it's ill-intentioned, right? Like you're like, I'm not sure if you really genuinely want to be my friend, but it's convenient because it's transactional, right? It might get you something out of that. So I've been in those situations where you can feel that this person doesn't genuinely want to be my friend. There's something they want from this friendship. I can think of high school where I've walked away from friendships that I'm like, this is not my character, and I don't feel safe here, and I don't feel like this is not the path I want to take, because I could see that this might not go the right way. I noticed the kids that I wanted to be friends with were not necessarily doing the good things per se. Like we're getting more in trouble. So I think starting from there, I began observing that in friendships as I grew older. Like when you're like, is that something that I value, and is that something that who I am? And then I'd be like, no, I don't think that is. So then I wouldn't necessarily engage in that friendship. It might be your acquaintance, and I might not be your deep friend who's really involved in, because you might find yourself in the wrong place. So I think I noticed that from that young age. Yeah.
Those difficult conversations in friendship. So why do you think in friendships we don't have that kind of
well, in college, I've had a lot of friends, girlfriends. I've seen a lot of them, and they take their friendships like a relationship. It's really, really deep. Like they're fighting like boyfriend and girl. If a boyfriend and girl is even small, they're fighting like married couples that parents will have to be getting involved. So I've always been the person that I actually don't want to get that, I would say, emotionally tied to somebody that, yes, we can have like disagreements, we can disagree on things, but we'll not be like fighting like we're like dating. It's not a romantic relationship. So I also think because of that, issues that might cause people to have those kind of fights, people like want to avoid it and they don't want to talk about it because they don't know how to handle it. And I've noticed that about myself when I think through. People say, oh, Tommy, you hardly fight with your friends. So maybe because I don't want to have the conversation that will make us fight, but I think we should have that conversation, and it might be very uncomfortable. And the way you handle it, I mean, you don't have to get parents involved. It's not a marital issue, but yeah, we should have those deep conversations, and we should do better with that. I don't think I do a good job, like deep conversations about how like something affects me.
I think that conflict avoidance is a big deal. But then also I think that sometimes we use the word friend very loosely. And so truly, if we were to evaluate our friendships, we could maybe come across the fact that, hey, there's some part of me that I don't really want to share with this person, or I'm not being like fully honest enough such that we're at the level where we can have some of these conversations, knowing that it might lead to conflict, but we are strong enough to be able to talk through and withstand. And so I think that definitely conflict avoidance comes into play. Depending on how you grew up, your background, how you deal with certain things, that might not be the route that you choose to, but it's also how much do you trust this person to be able to share with them what you truly think and have them accept what you're saying and to be able to like work through everything. And honestly, I think that sometimes too, we don't think to have those kinds of conversations with people. That's just it.